Let's begin today in child's pose. Come on down with your feet together, knees together or apart. And as you let your head rest downward, maybe on top of your arms or on the ground, take a moment to be still and make a conscious transition to focusing on your body, your breathing, and how you're feeling internally. Begin to deepen your breath when you exhale a little louder through the mouth, or a lot louder if you need to unpack a bit more. If you're not already, straighten the arms forward and separate your hands at least shoulders width apart, and more actively lengthen up and down your spine, drawing the hips back and down, drawing the shoulders back. Feel the capacity at which you're breathing into your lungs, into your belly as well. And continue to hear your breath as you take a few more exhales through the mouth, lengthening the breath in and out. Then placing your hands alongside your knees, tuck your chin to your chest. And with an inhale, slowly roll your spine upright. Find a comfortable way of sitting. So I want to start today's practice telling you a story that I read. It's a Zen parable. A student comes to a famous Zen master and asks for instruction in the way of Zen Buddhism. And the master begins to discuss several topics of Buddhism like emptiness and meditation. But the student interrupts the master in an attempt to impress him and says, "Oh, I already know that." The master then invites the student to have some tea. When the tea is ready, the master pours the tea into a teacup, filling it to the brim, spilling tea over the sides of the cup and onto the table. The student exclaims, "Stop, you can't pour tea into a full cup." The master replies, "Return to me when your cup is empty." So this idea of beginner's mind is actually termed in Zen Buddhism, and it's a practice called Shoshin. It refers to having an attitude of openness, eagerness, and lack of preconceptions when studying a subject, even when studying at an advanced level, just as a beginner would. In Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, by Shunryu Suzuki, a Zen teacher, he says that in the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the expert's mind, there are few. In The Dancing Wooly Masters, author Gary Zukov said, "This is another characteristic of a master. Whatever he does with the enthusiasm of doing it for the first time. This is the source of his unlimited energy. Every lesson that he teaches or learns is a first lesson. Every dance that he dances for the first time. It is always new, personal, and alive." It reminds me of one of the things that I loved about when I was an elementary school teacher, especially working with really young kids like kindergarten. They taught me so much, living through their excitement and sense of awe that they could have about anything, including a piece of lint. So how do we come back to that space of nourishing or nurturing a beginner's mind? And then here's another quote by the psychologist Abraham Maslow in his book where he was studying creative people. The book is called The Farther Reaches of Human Nature. He said they are variously described as being naked in the situation, guileless, without shoulds or oughts, without fashions, fads, dogmas, habits, or other pictures in the head of what is proper, normal, right, as being ready to receive whatever happens to be the case without surprise, shock, indignation, or denial. And this is so parallel, this practice in Zen Buddhism, of the yogic practice of the Sanskrit word vidya, which means to see things as they actually are, without the preconceptions of the mind, without the conditioning or presumptions and judgments, but being able to filter through that and just be here with this experience right now. So let's practice that in these physical postures that many of you have practiced so many times. How do we bring that sense of newness in watching our breaths, in moving our bodies and being still, and then later on in meditation? So as you sit tall and root down towards the earth, feel the uplift of your spine, the heart area expanding and rising towards the open sky above. Set your hands together at the heart, or place the left hand on your heart and the right hand on your lower abdomen, whichever you prefer. And start to direct more breath into the belly using the diaphragm. Feeling the belly expand as you invite breath in. Feeling the belly hollow as you find clarity through emptiness. Closing the lips and breathing equally, deeply in and out through the nose. Now you could continue this practice or move into the pranayama we've been starting to practice with, called Vastrika, bellows breath. It's energizing and helps to clear the mind. I'll demonstrate quickly. So continuing breathing through the nose, closing the eyes, and using the diaphragm as you breathe. You'll bend the elbows apart with hands like fists to start. With the inhales, you'll raise the arms, spread the fingers wide, and with the exhales, you'll bend the elbows again, like this. So if you're going to join us, I'm going to watch the clock for 1 minute of that practice. Do what you can. Here we go. Deep breath in to start. Relax. Let's sit for a moment. Perhaps setting an intention for your practice. And deepening the breath, still through the nose, gently narrow the back of your throat to begin Ujjayi Pranayama, or victorious breath. Center the mind's eye on the sound of the breath, rhythmically in and out. And then gently open your eyes. Let's come down to all fours, starting to move in cat-cow. So set your wrists a couple inches in front of your shoulders, knees under hips. And on an inhale, begin to stretch the spine forward, then coil your chest up to cow. On an exhale, first contract the belly, then look down between the knees as you dome your spine. A few more. Inhale, lifting the chest forward as you slide the shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, contracting the belly as you tuck the tailbone under the body and drop the head. Let's take 2 more cycles of cat-cow pose, or Bitalasana. After your next inhale, lifting the chest, tuck your toes and exhale, lift your hips to downward facing dog. Let's turn that into a flow. Inhale, lower the knees again and coil the chest up. Cow or cat pose. Exhale, tuck the toes and lift the hips back, downward facing dog. Try a couple more cycles. Inhale, knees down. chest rises. Exhale, hips lift, tailbone lengthens back. Finishing this last cycle of that prolonged cat-cow. Let's meet for a few breaths in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take a moment if you like to shift in any way that feels good in your body. You can warm up the backs of your legs by pedaling your feet in place. You can loosen up your neck by gently shaking and nodding your head. It might even feel good to bring the feet together, then lift one leg all the way up, bend the knee, open the hip, and rotate the leg or the foot a few times. Just checking in with the various joints of your body. Now, how's your breathing? Still aware of that whisper as you breathe in and out through your nose. See your feet now about hips width apart, maybe wider if you're feeling tightness in the back body. Parallel your feet and bend your knees generously. Now feel your hands as you spread the fingers wide, pointing the index fingers forward parallel. Imagine that you're pushing the mat away from your feet with your hands. Now as you keep the knees bent, see how much length you can create in your spine by lifting the tailbone high and pressing the front tops of your thighs back, like the hip crease area. Then as you do that, you might start to straighten the legs as long as that does not cause rounding in the back, especially in the shoulders. And then also lift the shoulders away from the neck as you roll the triceps downward, broadening across the shoulder blades. Firm the belly towards the back. And now let's hold still, shifting more weight towards the rear of your mat. Here in downward facing. Now, as you continue to wrap the triceps towards the ground, lengthening the neck, breathe in to glide forward into plank pose. Whether keeping your legs straight or setting the knees on the ground, keep firming the belly up towards the back and gazing on the floor ahead of your hands, shoulders right on top of the wrists. If your legs are straight, firm your heels back and engage the fronts of your thighs. Now keeping this long line in the spine, center contained and slightly lifted. With an exhale, slowly glide forward as far as you can before bending the elbows back, hugging your side ribs, then lowering chest and belly at the same time. Point your toes on the ground and feel your wrists alongside your floating ribs. Keep hugging the elbows close to your body, and with an inhale, lift the chest and take a few breaths after. Cobra pose. Now feel how much the muscles in your back are what's lifting your chest. So lift the hands to hover off the floor just a moment, and then keep coiling the chest up without cranking the neck, and then set the hands down and see if you can soften the tops of your shoulders further away from the neck. Heavily ground your pubic bone and the tops of your feet in the effort of stabilizing your lower back. Draw your tailbone towards the ground between your heels to lengthen the lower back. Take another breath here, then tugging your toes, press through your hands and lift to your version of plank. Then lift the hips back, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to meet your feet, coming into a forward fold at the rear of your mat. Now see that your feet are still apart, parallel, then bend your knees as much as you need so that you can lift your toes and slip your palms face up under the soles of your feet, right away stretching the outer wrists and forearms in Parahastasana. Shift your weight forward a little heavier on the balls of your feet as you breathe in to expand your chest forward. Keep the shoulders back as you exhale to fold even deeper. Let's try that again. Inhale, lift the heart as though you're pressing it through the gates of your arms. Then exhale, hinge at your hips, let the head go while floating the shoulders up. Let's stay for a few breaths. You might like to shake the head or flutter the lips to relax the jaw. Remember to bend the knees as much as it allows more space in your spine, less tension in the back. Deep breath. Now slip the palms out from under and press your fingertips on the ground ahead or your legs. With an inhale, stretch the spine forward, looking towards the tip of your nose. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow again to Uttanasana. From down through your feet, inhale, sweep your arms up towards the open sky above. Exhale, join your palms together at your heart center. Let's walk up to the front of the mat and start a few rounds of Sun Salutation A. Energizing, warming up, in moving meditation. Arms down by your sides. Breathe in, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Press with your fingertips. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen forward. Carefully plant the hands and step to your version of plank while lowering forward and down on an exhale. Cobra or upward facing dog. Breathe in to lift the chest, softening your shoulders down. Exhale through plank, then downward facing dog. Let's stay for 3 to 5 breaths. So as you're firming down through your hands, especially root in between the space or the space between your thumb and index. Then feel energy rising, lifting the shoulders back, lifting the hips back. As you steady the breath, bend your knees and look in front of your hands. At the end of your exhale, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Breathe in, lift your heart and gaze forward. Breathe out to fold. Root into the ground, inhale, rise tall, watch your palms meet. Exhale them together at your heart. Twice more, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Either step to plank or lightly jump to land halfway down in Chaturanga Dandasana. Use the in-breath to lift the chest in Cobra or upward facing. With an exhale, let's meet in downward facing. Then take a few breaths there. Bring a sense of curiosity to your breathing, to the sensations in your body. As though maybe this was the first time you ever practiced this pose. Finding some newness in the moment. Now with a deep breath, bend your knees, look forward. At the end of the exhale, lightly land at the top. Inhale, rise halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise tall, palms touch. Exhale to gather at your heart. Last one, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen forward. Float or step back as you exhale to lower. Breathe in to Cobra or upward facing. Breathe out to downward facing. Taking a few breaths. Now as you ground through the hands, inhale, raise the right leg behind you. And as you exhale, bend the right knee and cross your right ankle in front of your left thigh, like a figure 4 shape. Flexing your right foot, draw your sitting bones both back, shoulders both back. And then let the head hang as we stay for about 3 more breaths, turning open the right thigh bone at the hip through the contact of right ankle and left thigh. Firm the belly in, lift the sitting bones high. Taking one more inhale. And with an exhale, tap your right knee onto your right tricep, outer upper arm, and lightly step the foot outside of your right hand, coming into lizard lunge. You can choose to stay more active and keep the back knee lifted, or to rest with a supportive knee down. Making sure that your right knee is not bending in front of the ankle. Align the middle of it with the middle toe as you flex the right foot and splay the thigh open. So now you're just leaning on the knife outer edge of the foot. Soften your right outer hip back. And as you breathe, encourage your heart space to broaden forward. If you're not yet feeling much in opening the right outer hip, you could come down lower, whether you have a prop to rest your hands on or your forearms on, or come down to the ground. You might even add lengthening your left quadricep here by bending the left knee, back stroking the right arm to catch hold of the left foot, And then gently bringing the left heel closer to your glute. And if you're doing that, feel that your shoulders are relaxed away from the neck. This is also opening the right inner shoulder. Whatever you're choosing right now, let's take 3 more breaths to be present with it. Now gently release the back leg. Walk your right foot to the front and center of your mat. And spin the back heel down to straighten the left leg. Aligning right heel to arch of left foot. Press to your feet and cartwheel your arms to rise up into Warrior Two. Now feel as you turn in your left leg slightly, it allows you to completely turn out your right leg. Aligning the middle of that knee with a middle toe down the midline of your mat. Bend the front knee just over the ankle and rotate the right outer hip slightly underneath your body. As you press the top of your left thigh bone back towards the right edge of your mat, feel your pelvic bowl balance itself upright with a little engagement in the lower belly. As you open the arms, reach through your fingertips and feel the broadening of your chest and shoulders. But relax the shoulders down, lifting up to your crown. Steady your gaze just ahead of your right hand on one spot, or close your eyes. Now feel your body breathing for 3 more cycles here in Virabhadrasana 2. Shifting into triangle pose, firm down through both feet and straighten your right leg. You might like to shorten your stance a couple inches to help stabilize the pose. With legs straight, firm the fronts of your thighs and glide your pelvis sideways towards the back edge of your mat while reaching your right fingertips laterally forward before tilting it down to your right leg or just to the right outside of your leg, maybe using a prop if the ground is too low. You want to make sure you have space here in the right side of your torso and that you're not squishing into that right lower back, causing strain. Wrapping the right sitting bone still underneath. Draw your tailbone back towards your left outer heel as you lengthen the top of your head forward diagonally past the front edge of your mat. As you reach the left arm towards the sky, you might be gazing up towards the left thumb if it feels okay on your neck. Relax the shoulders. Feel the belly slightly engaged, offering stability in this posture. And notice that you're not collapsing all your weight down to the right hand. You could lift a finger or more if needed. Let's take 3 more breaths here in Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Sweeping the left arm overhead, take a deep breath down your left side body. With an exhale, lower your hands to step into plank and take your own version of a vinyasa or cat-cow, or go straight to downward dog. Arriving for a few breaths. Feel the support of your hands rooting into the earth. As you inhale, raise the left leg behind you. Exhale, bend the left knee, cross your left ankle in front of your right thigh, like a figure 4. Flexing your left foot, press through your hands and draw your hips further up and back. Keep engaging the belly. We're here for about 3 more breaths. So as you flex the left foot, feel the left ankle and right thigh press against each other to help you turn out your left thigh at the hip. Draw the tailbone and shoulders back. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, bend the left knee towards your left outer upper arm and softly land the foot outside of your left hand to lizard lunge. If you'd like to be more active, keep your right knee lifted. Otherwise, lower the right knee. With left knee directly on top of the heel, align the middle of it with the middle toe and flex the foot. Then splay the left thigh open so you're just leaning on the knife outer edge of the foot. Gently scissor your left outer hip back. And as you breathe in, encourage your heart to lengthen forward. Now you might explore depth in the left outer hip by coming down lower onto your forearms with or without a prop. Or you might offer your right quadricep a stretch by bending the right knee and backstroking the left arm to catch hold of your right foot, gently bringing the right heel closer to your glutes. If you're doing that, feel the left inner shoulder roll open. Now let's take 3 more deep breaths. Begin to step your left foot to the front and center of your mat, preparing for Warrior Two by spinning the right heel down and straightening the back leg. Align your left heel to intersect the arch of your right foot. Pressing down through both feet, windmill your arms to rise up to stand. Now feel as you're turning your right leg slightly inward. It allows your left leg to completely turn out at the hip, aligning the middle of the knee with the middle toe down the midline of your mat. Firming the top of the right thigh bone back. Roll the left outer hip under your body and feel your pelvis upright. Open the arms and feel the reach through your fingertips while relaxing the shoulders down. Lifting through the top of your head. Steady your eyes forward, just in front of the left hand or eyes closed. Let's take 3 more deep breaths. Feel your weight even on both feet as you straighten the left leg and prepare for triangle. You might shorten your stance a couple inches. Engage the fronts of your thighs and slide your pelvis sideways towards the back edge of your mat while reaching your left hand forward, then down onto your left leg or just to the left outside of it. Now find the height to place the left hand where you could lengthen the left side of your torso and not feel compression in the left lower back. Keep rolling the left outer hip under as you draw the tailbone towards your right heel and the crown of your head towards the front of your mat. Then reaching the right arm up, maybe look towards the right thumb, but do steady your gaze on something. Taking 3 more deep breaths. Utthita Trikonasana. Inhale, sweep the right arm overhead towards the front, opening the right side body. Exhale, lower your hands and step to plank, optional vinyasa or cat-cow. Of course, resting whenever you need to. We'll meet in downward facing dog. So let's prepare by steadying the breath rhythmically to flow 1 breath per motion in 1 cycle of Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salutation B. With bent knees, look ahead of your hands. At the end of your exhale, lightly land your feet together to touch at the top. Inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Exhale, fold. Sweeping your arms, inhale, rise. Palms touch. Exhale them to your heart. Sun B. Bend your knees together and inhale, sit low in chair pose. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Step to plank or float to chaturanga as you exhale to lower. Inhale to cobra or upward. Exhale to downward facing. Inhale, raise your right leg back. Exhale, lightly step the foot inside of the right hand, spin the back heel down. Face forward, inhale, rise all the way up to warrior one. Exhale, lower through plank into your choice of vinyasa. Breathing in, breathing out to downward dog. Second side, inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale the foot inside of your left hand, spin the right heel down. Face forward, inhale, rise to warrior one. Exhale, lower into your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward dog. Three to 5 breaths in downward facing. With bent knees, look in front of your hands. At the end of your exhale, lightly land your feet to touch at the top. Breathe in, lengthen forward. Breathe out to fold. With knees touching, inhale, sit low in chair pose. Exhale to rise up. Shifting your weight onto your left foot, pick up your right foot and flex it in front of you, bending the knee. Take a moment to re-steady your 2 hips to balance. Then turning out the right leg, cross the right ankle in front of your left thigh, like we did earlier in downward dog. Begin to sit in chair, trying to evenly lower your sitting bones back. Feel the belly softly engaged. Steady your eyes on something. Steady your breath. Now we're going to add a twist here. So keep your 2 hips leveled and place the left hand on your lower back, right at the center of your sacrum. Keep flexing your right foot and raise the right arm forward. Draw the shoulders down. And as you breathe in, feel your spine lengthen from your pelvis. Now keep the pelvis still, but turn the rib cage to the left as you breathe out. You might be able to reach the back of your right hand and press it against the sole of your right flexed foot. Sitting a little lower for maybe a couple more breaths. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Keep the 2 hips as leveled as you can, flexing the right foot as you twist at your waistline. Last breath here. Now bring the hands together at your heart. Take a deep inhale. Then exhale, rise up and set your right foot down. Give your left foot some movement. Maybe shake out the whole body if you like. And now, I know our minds, or at least mine, likes to plan ahead. And you already know what's going to happen, but can we practice that beginner's mind by being in one breath at a time? And just feeling the full experience of it. So bring the feet to touch. Join your hands at your heart. Flex the left foot and lift it forward of you. Turn out your left thigh at the hip. Cross the left ankle in front of your right thigh. Begin to sit low in chair. Feel your 2 sitting bones. Try to evenly lower behind you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feel the newness of each breath. Preparing to twist. Place your right hand on the middle of your sacrum to help steady the hips. Raise the left arm forward. And as you breathe in, feel your spine lengthen diagonally forward from the pelvis. Keep the hips still. Exhale, turn your chest to face your right wall. Breathe in, keep lengthening the spine. See if you can reach the back of your left hand and press it against the sole of your left foot flexed. Keep flexing the foot. That adds some leverage to continue twisting. Couple more breaths. Draw the sitting bones back. Steady your gaze. Join your hands at your heart as you gaze forward. Breathe in. Exhale, rise up to stand and set your left foot down. Shake it out. Give your right foot some movement. And let's turn to face the wide width of your mat. separating the feet about as wide apart as you can, splay the wrists apart. Then from your hips, rotate your legs and pivot your feet so your left foot becomes your front leg. Aligning the left heel to the arch of your right foot, find Warrior Two to start. Bending the front knee, wrapping the left sitting bone under, and firming the top of the right thigh bone back. Now keep the lower belly engaged and open your arms like triangle. Sweep your hips towards your right foot, your rear foot, and reach the left hand past your left knee before lowering the forearm on the thigh. Now reach the right arm up high and take a few breaths. Feel this left side of your lower back. Don't want to feel any compression in it, so continuously wrap the left sitting bone under, draw the tailbone towards the right heel, and lengthen the crown of your head forward past your left toes. Turn the chest slightly towards the sky. Shoulder blades down the back. Modified side angle pose. We're going to add more of a lateral stretch, so wrap the right tricep to face the wall you're facing, and then reach the right arm overhead, getting a little more length down the right side body from the outer right foot pressing the ground all the way through your right fingertips. Those of you who are looking for a little more rigor in the sides of your core, you could extend the left arm parallel to the right as if you're holding a beach ball overhead. Keep drawing the navel towards your spine, turning your chest slightly towards the sky, shoulder blades down the back. Whatever you're choosing, let's take 3 more deep breaths. Press to your feet and inhale, rise up to Warrior Two and straighten the left leg. Right away, rotate your legs from the hips and pivot your feet to face the opposite edge of your mat. Now look at your right heel and align it to the arch of your left foot. Then bend your right knee just over the ankle like Warrior Two. Open the arms. Slide your hips towards your back leg. Reach the right hand forward past your front knee. Then set the right forearm on your thigh. Feel the right side of your torso and lower back. Create space in it. Wrap the right hip under, draw the tailbone towards left heel, and then raise the left arm towards the sky. Lower belly slightly engaged as you're turning your chest slightly to face the ceiling. Deep breaths. Now let's add more of a lateral lengthening. From your left upper arm, rotate the tricep to face the wall that you're facing, and then reach that left arm overhead. Feel the length from your left outer heel rooting into the ground, up your left leg, up your left fingertips. If you did so on the first side, maybe add the rigor of reaching the right arm parallel to the left. Keep spiraling the chest towards the sky, softening the shoulders away from the neck. And whatever you're in, let's fully be in for 3 more breaths. Firm down to your feet. Inhale, rise up to Warrior Two. So if you're doing that parallel arm thing, Warrior Two just might feel like child's pose at this point. Isn't that great? Let's take another breath. Exhale, cartwheel your hands. Optional vinyasa or cat-cow. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Downward dog, bring your feet to touch. Look past your hands. We're going to land sitting at the middle of your mat with your legs forward on the ground. So if you want to slide your legs through with a jump or a few jumps, you can inch the feet closer to the hands to make it feel more doable. Hollow the belly as you empty the breath and use that to jump through. Either way, come to sit down and let's take 1 round of boat pose. So bend your knees if you like. Tilt your weight back, lift your spine tall, and reach the arms forward if you want to add that. Take a deep breath and lift from pelvic floor through each vertebra through the crown. Exhale through the nose, 7. Inhale across your heart space, broadening the chest as you lift it. Exhale, 6. Picture your lower back. Lift from there as you breathe in. Lift the back ribs. Exhale, 5. Breathe length through your legs, whether they're bent or straight. Inhale. Exhale, 4. What's calling your attention in your body? Breathe into that space. Exhale, 3. Fill your lungs. Breathe in. Exhale, 2. One more through the length of your spine. Inhale. Exhale, lower your feet. And let's cross the right ankle over your left straight leg, like that same figure 4. So starting here, place your hands just behind your pelvis and begin to bend the left knee, sliding the left heel little by little closer to your pelvis until you have just a good enough hip opener. If you start to round the back, that's too much, then you can just straighten the leg as well. That's fine too. Do flex both of your feet, especially your right foot, to stabilize the knee. You might drag the heel close enough where you're sitting up tall and the left foot is flat on the floor. If so, you could hold your left foot and right knee, your right foot and right knee like a baby that you're cradling between the crooks of your elbows, possibly lifting the right leg off the left leg. Or you could release the left leg down and actually rock the baby. This will give the right hip a little loosening. Whatever you're doing, come back to your breathing. Feel the posture of your spine and how that brings ease into your shoulders and expansiveness into your breath. All right, so do straighten the left leg, if it's not already, and recross the right ankle over the left thigh. Place the left hand behind your pelvis and raise the right arm up. Sit taller as you inhale. Now turn your chest to the left as you exhale. Start by pressing the back of your right hand against the sole of your right foot, like we did earlier. Or you can start to bow forward and slide your right forearm or maybe upper arm against the sole of your right foot flexed. If the upper arm, you could bring the left hand to meet the right hand in prayer position and begin to turn the center of your chest to meet your thumb, sort of like revolved chair pose. Keep flexing the left foot as well and lengthen the spine from the pelvis as you breathe in. Slide the shoulder blades down the back. Hollow the belly as you continue to twist, taking a couple more breaths here. Opening the outer hip as we help to decompress and lengthen the spine. Take another breath in, and then exhale, lift the spine and unwind. Straighten the legs forward, and you might like to point the toes out from all that flexing or roll out your feet. Now, flex your feet again and cross the left ankle just above your right knee like a figure 4. Start here and place the hands behind your pelvis. Sit upright and relax the shoulders. Begin to lift the right knee bent as you slide the right heel on the ground towards your pelvis, finding to what degree you can keep the spine upright. You might even set the right foot flat on the floor, or you might revert to straightening the right leg. Do what works for you. And if you are setting the right foot flat on the ground, right knee is bent, you could also try cradling your left shin between the crooks of your elbows. Or then you could release the right leg down and maybe rock the baby. Gently sway the left leg side to side. Now, especially your left foot, keep your feet flexed. A couple more breaths here. Feel the groundedness of your pelvis as you lift the spine from it. Now return to that first position, left ankle over right thigh, right leg straight on the ground, and flex the feet. Place the right hand behind your pelvis on the floor, raise the left arm. Get taller through the spine as you breathe in and lean forward. Twist at your waistline to the right and cross the back of your left hand, forearm, or upper arm against the flexed left sole. Now, if upper arm, you could seal the palms in prayer and continue twisting so that the center of your chest seeks your thumbs. Draw the shoulder blades down the back as you root down through the sitting bones. And let's take a few more breaths here in this hip opening spinal twist. Feel your jaw at ease as you take one more deep breath. Unwinding as you exhale, lift the spine upright, and again release both legs straight. And take a moment to relax your feet. Maybe shake out the shoulders or turn the head. So sitting at the middle of your mat, set your feet on the floor in front of you, parallel to each other, hips width apart. Sit tall and extend your arms forward with your palms up, relaxing the shoulders. Take a few deep breaths to very slowly lower your spine and lie down on your back. From afar, that might look so easy, but I'm sure you can feel your core muscles at work. A great way to strengthen core stability. Once you're lying down with your arms close to your sides, slide your feet back until you could almost touch your heels with your fingertips. Just almost. Keeping the feet parallel, the toes spread. Root your shoulders down, and let's prepare to hold bridge pose for 5 to 10 full breaths. When you're ready, lift the hips. Stretch the tailbone forward towards the space between your knees. Tilt the chin slightly back, opening your throat. And slide the upper arms closer together under your back ribs. While keeping your arms straight, maybe you interlace the fingers as well. Now, bring the energy into your legs without visibly moving them, as though you're dragging your heels back towards your glutes. This will engage your hamstrings and slightly your glutes. At the same time, lengthen the fronts of your thighs forward. You might feel more of a lift in your pelvis to help open your hip flexors. Spin your inner thighs slightly towards the ground while keeping the thighs parallel. This will help open the lower back. You decide when you're ready to come down. Use an exhale to slowly lower one vertebra at a time. Pause once you've released the pelvis and just take 3 deep belly breaths, exhaling through your lips. Decide what to do for your last back bend, whether bridge pose again, or if your shoulders are feeling up to it, upward facing bow, where the hands begin alongside the ears, just like the legs, the arms stay parallel, or roll onto your stomach for bow, Dhanurasana. I like that one as it stimulates the digestive organs as the belly presses against the ground. So take your choice and stay for your count of 5 to 10 deep breaths. If you're catching hold of your outer feet, kick the legs straight and pull your feet at the same time to lift your knees while coiling your chest up. In any of these back bends, make sure that you keep your knees no wider apart than hips distance, as that helps to support your lower spine. Feel your breath enlivening your lungs. Stay either on your back or on your belly when you release to rest. And when you are resting, again, taking belly breaths, exhaling through the mouth, bend your knees and let your shins drop together side to side gently in a moving twist. Now returning onto your back, lying down. Open the arms wide like a T as we prepare for a spinal twist. Bend your knees and lift them towards your belly. Now you could keep the knees together like this, a gentler version of the twist. Or if you're opting for something a little deeper, you could cross the right leg over the left. Either way, slide your hips a little closer to the right edge of your mat. And make sure to keep the right shoulder grounded as you twist slowly to your left. You can feel nice on the neck to turn your gaze past your right hand. Now, as you remain in the twist for a few more breaths, bring your attention to your right outer hip. Think of drawing it away from your torso and towards your feet. A slight tilt, a more internal action to help lengthen the lower back. Take a deep breath in. Open the mouth, let it go. Roll onto your back. If you crossed your legs, cross the left leg over the right. Scoot your hips a little closer to the left side of your mat. And keeping the left shoulder grounded, start to twist to your right. And perhaps you look over your left shoulder. Then direct your left outer hip to tilt away from your torso and towards your feet, helping to release space into your lower back. Take one more full breath here. And again, open the mouth, maybe stick out the tongue this time like lion's breath. As you roll onto your back, uncross the legs, bend your knees apart. You might like to circle the thighs together and apart. You might like to hold still and lift the legs straight up, maybe move into shoulder stand or plow. So for just another half a minute or so, take whatever cooling posture movement to help you unwind into Shavasana. And find that comfortable position to rest your body in stillness with. Once there, close your eyes. Allow a deep inhale to fill up your lungs, belly, and all that you can before opening your lips and releasing control of your breath. With eyes still closed and body still, continue to breathe naturally. Decide if you'd like to stay longer in Shavasana for the last 2 minutes of practice, or if you'd like to join me in a sitting meditation. If the latter, start to gently lift your body up, finding a comfortable upright seat. So if you don't have a preferred meditation technique for tonight, I invite you to try this in light of beginner's mind practice. To choose one thing to focus on, preferably something in your body, an organ like your lungs, which you can feel expand with breath, or maybe it's the breath itself. Maybe it's a body part that was really calling your attention in the practice today. And I invite you to cultivate a sense of awe as you simply focus on that part, on that thing. A sense of loving curiosity. Let's begin 2 minutes. Allowing deeper breaths to gently awaken your body. If you're still lying down and want to close the practice together, gently make your way up to sit. Sitting tall with hands joined at the heart in this gesture of appreciation, which is one of the virtues of the beginner's mind, the ability to appreciate newness. I want to close with a quote by the poet Rainier Maria Rilke. Be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart, and try to love the questions themselves, like locked rooms and like books that are now written in a very foreign tongue. Do not now seek the answers which cannot be given you because you would not be able to live them. And the point is to live everything. Live the questions now. Perhaps you will then gradually, without noticing it, live along some distant day into the answer. I think it's especially during times of uncertainty that this practice of open mind can be of use. Let's close the practice with one Om. Take a deep breath. light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. And quick announcement, tomorrow I am teaching a yoga intro to yoga 30-minute class Thursday evening at 6 p.m. So if you want to really cultivate that beginner's mind, you can join me there tomorrow.